Welcome back to the Red Corner. Huge Red Corner weekend. A whole lot to get into today. Guys, the Phillies sit here at 19-15. Only like approximately 10 games ago, vibes were in the gutter, right? Since the Mets series, we got swept. The Phillies have went 6-3, have won all three series. Vibes, I would say, have stabilized. We're going to get into all that, right? We're going to talk a lot of Phil's specifics, but we had a huge Red Corner weekend. Red Corner dog was revealed. We had a little bit of controversy going on. But Slim, did you have fun this weekend?
I had a great time. The only controversy, I don't think there was any controversies. I'm not sure what you're hitting to. You can enlighten me if you want.
Some ice cream
helmets. The ice cream helmets. Because I don't know if you're talking about the direction. Because all day, let's be honest, the day was filled with some controversy from the directions to the Red Corner dogs to to everything, to the trivia questions, to the shout outs. We had a great time though. We had Bago going. Yeah, it was a great time. Can't wait to run it back. And really, I can't wait to see some of the same folks again at Love City Brewery this weekend coming up, because we're right back at it.
Yeah, no, that's a great shout out. Thank you for that. And Bones, unfortunately, you had a Kentucky Derby event that you had to attend, but you were missed.
Yeah, shout out to you two guys, especially Devin, getting everything all set up with the
cheers
with the tailgate. But yeah, I had the Kentucky Derby. I was working bartending all day, so of course it's a big day betting wise and across the country, and especially where I was working. So
right,
had to get that out of the way, and turned out to be another tailgate win for the home run patrol, as we call ourselves, in the Red Corner.
Yeah, our little tailgate crew is the home run patrol, which shout out to all those guys. And yeah, as Bones hit on, we had about 30 people probably at the peak at our tailgate, so it was a lot of fun, a lot of people we haven't seen in a while. We had live music, so we had a lot going on. But Slim, I don't want to tease this anymore, because all of our listeners that have been tuning in, don't walk away now, Slim.
I'm not. I think I'm looking for something. I'm listening.
All the people that have been tuning in know that before the season, we had a little mini ice cream Phillies helmet bet, right?
Yes.
Bones had to secure all 6 for the season. So Slim had a little bit of an issue. I'll let you kind of let everybody in on this, because they're dying to hear.
All right. So you guys know right off the bat, woke up Saturday. I was prepping the Red Corner hot dogs. For those, they were fantastic. I laid 9 out.
Fantastic.
They went within 9 minutes. The Red Corner dog is just a nice juicy hot dog, a nice soft bun, a little bit of American Philadelphia authentic cheesesteak with the cheese mixed in on there, and then a little bit of red crushed pepper. They were delicious. They went down super fast. But that being said, it was a long day making those.
Long day.
And yes, it was hot. It's hot now in Philly. We're back into it, right? The spring weather doesn't last at all. It was hot. It was humid. We were sweating. We were getting sunburned. I was pitching. You guys didn't see that? I had a little kid rocking me. I was getting my ass kicked in Bago. So
shout out young Jack. He was hitting bombs.
I was having a long day. But with that said, it was about the 8th, 9th inning. I was looking around at the home run patrol, and nobody was there anymore. All of the Red Corner was gone. All the Red Riders were gone. I was the last man standing. I walked around. My phone was dead. I got a cab. I got home, went to bed, woke up this morning, and I went to go see how the night went last night, check the debit card, all that good stuff. No, I have absolutely no cell phone. My cell phone is gone. Yep, must be in the back of a Philadelphia yellow cab somewhere. But I did wake up with one thing, and I got one over on you, Bones, because when you miss out, I hope you had fun at the Derby day, all this good stuff. But when you miss out, I'm going to make it count, because I got officially one ice cream helmet right there for you, the nice Philly Fanatic one. So I'm 1 for 6. And I'll be back there again soon looking for more.
Oh, that's cool. I was there on Thursday, and I got 2 racked up. So
where are they at?
For you.
Where are they at?
They're right over here at my kitchen counter.
Yeah,
same colors.
I'm gonna go to bat.
No, it's the blue cap with the red brim.
That's all. That's fine and dandy, but we got to keep a tracker. Okay.
No, hold on, Slim. I'm gonna go to bat for you here. It's got to be at a red corner sanctioned event. Anything outside of that does not count. So we're not counting the other ones.
That's fine. I still got 2-1.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I have it 1-0 for Slim right now. We'll let the Red Riders decide on that. But honestly, Slim, a tear of joy came to my tear of joy and a tear of pride came to my eye when I heard that Slim lost his phone, but he secured that helmet. The helmet made it home. The phone did not.
So
yeah.
How much you think for a little ice cream like this?
Nothing would surprise me.
$10. And do you think? Yeah, I made a deal with the guy. I got this little helmet for about $4 right before I walked out.
Wait, what?
I didn't even get the ice cream. It was $10 and he gave it to me for $4.
Oh, so that doesn't count. It's 0-0.
It doesn't count.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's 0-0. You're the ice cream king.
You gotta eat
the ice cream, you fat shit.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
the lines were ridiculous. The lines of the mangoes, no way. Those lines were too long. I waited all day for ice cream. I'll eat ice cream at my house. I'm gonna put my own ice cream in the helmet.
You both.
My own ice cream is going in the helmet. The lines were too long. They were too long.
The lines were long in the 8th inning. Bullshit.
It was crazy. It
was
the mango lines.
Yeah.
At section 140, 141. I kid you not, those lines were long.
Yeah.
Not happening. Not happening.
Slim cheated.
Wow, you just took yourself out of the race.
Yeah,
at least I bought ice cream. Jesus Christ.
I didn't take my Bones. You showed two. Bones, you showed two of the same color helmets. Okay, so even if you have it, you still have one. It doesn't matter.
Have one helmet for a night.
That's not true. All right, cool. So you got one, and I got one.
No,
so you showed
zero. You did.
All right, so we both got 0. But if he's showing the same color helmet, I don't care either. He needs to have unique color helmets.
$20, $4.
2 corny ones.
King, brother.
Look at that one.
Is king.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
All right, boys.
Nice and unique.
So I'm glad we talked that out on the air because we discovered a lot of things about both of you. But let's start talking.
Yeah, one guy's a liar.
Yeah,
one guy's on a diet, and you can tell.
Let's talk some ball. Bones, I'm looking at you here. D-back series. You happy we won it? You disappointed about today? Where are we at?
I mean, talk about today. Like today, Ranger Suarez came out. He was firing and then had his hiccup of the inning.
Yep.
They fought back, and then they lost it. I mean, it's kind of been like all year where they kind of happen with them.
Right.
But then you get to last night, and with Aaron Nola, another outstanding start by Nola. That's 2 in a row. And we're going to mention, like which I did before, about the stat where Nola with Realmuto catching. So it's 2 in a row. Realmuto catching, Nola behind the plate, and he's going, I think it's 1 run and then 0 runs last night or whatever it was.
I think that's right.
And then starts before that where Marchand was catching and he was getting lit up like a Christmas tree. And then the other start where Realmuto was catching against the Dodgers and he was better. So it's adding up. It's going to look, we'll see in the next couple starts how it's going to look, where it shapes out to be.
Yeah.
If it was Realmuto or just a coincidence, you know what I mean?
I want you to keep that thought going. I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to, on your JT Realmuto theme, I have a point I want to make. If you noticed, Zach Wheeler and Kerkering both were honest in this past week or so about how they shook him off. How Wheeler said, I don't ever shake off JT. He shook him off once. Boom. Homer.
Home run.
Kerkering, who never should be shaking him off, shook him off. Boom. Got rocked.
Yeah, Kerkering shouldn't be shaking anybody off.
He shouldn't be shaking anybody off.
But Wheeler,
yeah,
he has the tools and the experience as a major league pitcher. He can shake them off. He's obviously been the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the National League and all of baseball last couple of years. But even then,
even he said he doesn't shake him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he paid the consequences. So I guess he won't be shaking him off the rest of the year.
But that's a great insight too. But seriously, I know Slim, you're a big Real Muto guy. That's a
Right.
huge insight into Real Muto, because the best pitcher in the National League over the past 3 years is telling us all that the way JT calls the game, he doesn't shake him off. So
Right.
that matters. So keep going. Sorry.
Well, quickly, I'll get to Remuto in a moment, because you guys are ringing my ears. You're absolutely right. That's the theme. I'm loving hearing it. So the way I looked at, I think the Phillies are getting back in it. If we're winning 2 out of 3 every week, that's awesome. We want that. The Diamondback series, we won their first 2. The offense is starting to come around. These guys are starting to look better. Turner was like 1 for 6 today, but he was over 300 coming in today. So it's cool that we can have that real conversation. It's Turner going to be batting 300. Other guys are coming along as well. We also saw other guys are coming along. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Today's game was a trap game, right? From the beginning. As soon as you saw that Schwarber was out in left field and that Harper was DHing, that immediately rings my bell, because I'm a Suarez guy. And I'm like, man, if a hard ground ball gets between third and shortstop, and now we got Schwarber running in, plays that should be singles are going to be doubles. And we kind of saw that in the one play. Schwarber made one really good play. The bounce off the wall, which was awesome to see. But then the one where he slid, that was a single that was then stretched into a double. That probably doesn't happen with other players. And
he had a good throw at home too.
Oh, he did have a So he's definitely trying, but I still think it's still not what we want. With that said, the vibes for me are very, very high after this last week, especially after the weekend. The D-backs are a pretty good team. Right now, I would probably say they're underperforming, which is fine. We were able to capitalize. Today wasn't great, but hey, we kind of knew the Sunday games can get wonky. Now, let's talk about Remuto, because Bones, you're an Aaron Nola guy, correct?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm an Aaron Nola guy, but I don't think he was as bad. I don't think he's as bad as what his first couple starts were. That's what you're saying.
Well, we have him for years and years to come, as we spoke about last week. Signing Remuto, he has hidden value because he increases the values of these pitchers, like you guys were saying. What is Nola going to look like with that Remuto for the next 7-6 years? So we have to re-sign Remuto. We have to. And Marchand's not good.
Well,
spring training,
100%.
That's something spring training can dictate next year. Get familiar with people.
Yeah. Now, Marchand, like who? We have to bring a whole other guy in.
Not going to waste $15 million on a catcher.
That's cheap. Under $20 million is cheap, and it might be even cheaper than 15. 15 might be high.
Relievers. Look where we're at this year.
Good point.
No way. There's no way. I would bring back.
That is the way. Especially where
Remuto's better than any reliever.
Dombrowski's only giving out 1-year contracts to relievers. I can't spend $20 million on a catcher that's going to roll over double plays to the left side of the infield just because he can call a good game.
But Bones, he would also increase the value.
There's other people out there who can call a good game. I don't care who he is.
You don't even want.
And even on the defensive side, he has been up to par defensively this year.
He's been fine defensively.
There's people stealing all over him. And you can blame the pitchers.
Right. A lot of times it's the pitchers. A lot of times it's the pitchers. We had multiple guys who don't know how to hold guys on, and we honestly kind of saw that again today with Suarez. The relief pitching is getting better. They're getting better probably a lot because of Remuto. Remuto's the dude. And my point there is you're saying let's spend the money on relievers. Let's spend money on relievers who are going to pitch once every 3 days because they need 2 days off now, it seems like, where Remuto plays every single day, and he increases the value of every single pitcher we have. You're not going to find that again. You're just not going to find it. And his hitting was coming along, it seems, a little bit too. He's one of these guys, he's not crushing the ball, but he's slowly getting back up there.
On Friday when we were there.
Right. And he got it. I mean, I'm not sure what his final numbers were today, but I know in the later innings there he got on. He's a part of that rally that we had going. Yeah, no, I'm confident in Remuto, and I think you guys are being misled thinking it's going to be an easy replacement. And I thought with the Nola thing, you would see that because the correlation of Nola's success and Remuto is so strong, and it can continue to be strong for the next at least, I think, 3 to 4 years.
So this is a great topic, Slim. So let's just
3 to 4 years.
Wait, say that. Yeah, say that again.
With Remuto and Nola?
How long do you? Yeah, 3 years.
Wow.
How long? Well, how long do we have Nola for? We have him for 7 more years. What is it? 6 more years. Okay, so that's
5.
So he's locked in for 5. You're give Romuto 3. Give him 20. You can make it $38 million for 3 years.
Yeah, that's awful.
I would do it. I would go ding, 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 ding.
You might be the only person around here that would do it.
Hey, you know what? And I was the only person last week when we were watching the game that had confidence in our guys calling it out. You guys wanted this, you guys wanted that, and it didn't happen.
Well,
all right, so it's time to start listening to Slim. Slim's been hot.
Let's do a temperature check because we'll go check the receipts. And
I'm shocked. You guys are stoked.
First of all, before this season, this man right here said that he would have extended Real Muto before the season. And I said, but what I think the Phillies are going to do is they're going to keep a very close eye on Marchand, right? The performance of the Marchand starts are going to really dictate his value because we have people calling for Stubbs. And honestly, some like non-joker people are calling for Stubbs at this point. Marchand hasn't grasped the role yet. So I think you're both onto something. The point Slim's making is we can complain about the diminishment of Real Muto all we want, but even when he's diminished, he's still better than a lot of catchers out there, and he's our guy, right? He's in the clubhouse, he's got the relationships, all that.
That's the second point. He's a culture dude.
So I want to get that temperature check on both of you right now. So you're the GM, you're Dombrowski. Bones, I'll start with you. If you were to extend him, would you? If you would, on what approximate terms? Years, dollars? You don't got to get crazy with the dollars, but just give me a rough.
He's like a lame duck from here on out.
Okay.
No
1 year at a time. He ain't going to take it, but that's what I would do.
Right.
And like you already talked about, like I was going to hit on.
Yeah.
Like I'm over the Marchand experience. He's not going to cut it. I'd rather just bring Stubbs up.
I thought he was better.
I thought he was better too, and I gave him a feel of love and all, and he's not it. Which is like
defensively,
I'm saying,
it's constant pass balls, and it's constant dudes like even stealing on them.
Yeah,
like it's his fault or like some of it's the pitcher's fault, but a lot of it's him.
Yeah,
and like that's stuff I already seen, and he can't hit. He's only batting $125 or something like that.
Yep.
So
the only way
we were thinking about where he was going to bring the production because Romuto is going to step back, play less games, got to get production from somewhere. But now you're seeing to where I don't know if it's just they're doing it just because or because he's playing like they're even though whatchamacallit's catching, but Romuto's still staying in the lineup. DHing.
Yeah.
Like, is that because like they're trying to get him more reps because he's stinking up the joint, or they're just giving Romuto a break? Like I don't see him being like maybe like All-Star break a little before we see a change in that backup role because now you're going to start getting in the summer. Going to need him to play more. If he's not playing up to his standard, might as well just go to the other guy.
Right.
Who's been here before, and he's actually hitting down in the minors.
Yes.
And he's playing every day.
And Slim, same question to you. What would be – so you would do 3 years? Is that you sound like?
No, what I would do is so you're going to get them under $20 million a year. I know that sounds super duper high. Maybe
Absolutely.
like Bones – I think like Bones said, if you can get it under $15 million, I think this year or next, so 2026 and 2027, if you get them between 12 to 14 million, and then year 3 with an option for year 4 around 10 million, that'd be fantastic. So if you can get them for anywhere between 2 to 4 years, around that, I would love for it to be around 12 to 14 million for the first 2, and then a little bit lower, 10 to 11 the second 2. So what's that math? 24, 35? Yeah, anywhere between. Depending on the years, anywhere between 25 to 35 million, somewhere between 2 to 4 years.
2 years max for me. Like if you're not,
I hear you. I would love that. I would love that too. But
because Tate's right there, and Tate's hitting the shit out of the ball down to the minors.
He's young though. He's like
and that's another point for Romuto. He can learn from Tate. Or he can learn from Romuto. That's a point.
He looks good.
he can come up and Remuto. They can split this in three. In that year 3 of that contract, it can be Tate and Remuto all
What are you
year.
going to learn from an old fart?
You talk out both sides. I don't know what the heck you're talking about anymore, Bones, because you say you see the things and then you don't make the connections at this point. I don't get it. I don't know what to tell you. All right, next topic.
Do a double play every at bat? I don't know.
All right. He's not a double player. Like, stop.
No, yes, he is. He's a walking double play.
Let's transition some of this.
He's been a walking double play for 2 years now.
He didn't hit a double play in the 9th inning comeback today. He didn't hit a
double
play.
Him another 4.
He didn't hit a double play today in the 9th inning. He extended
the
rally.
4. Yeah,
4 years
the rally.
Every
4 years is high. Yeah, so I gave you both sides. That's his winning side. That's how I would go there. And yeah, you go. I think his winning. I think 3 years.
I think his winning side is 3 years.
3 years would be sick with him and Tate.
Reasonable.
Year 3 of that contract would be awesome with him and Tate would be awesome in 2028 together. I'm calling it right now.
Alrighty, let's transition some of
that by then.
Fiery energy to let's bring it down. Now let's feel the love. And guys, Slim and I were drinking some. What'd you think of those Love City lagers? They were smooth, right?
They were going down easy. People were going back to the cooler all day. Yeah.
So shout out to our official beer partner in Love City Brewing. And this is an especially special week for us, right? This Friday, the 9th. I got that date right. I'm always mixing my dates up here. Friday the 9th. We will be there at 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll get there nice and early. We'll be hanging out. We're doing a watch party. The Red Corner is doing their first official on-site watch party at Love City Brewing. Come on out. The first beer is on the Red Corner, so we'll get you whatever pint you want, and we'll come hang out. We'll do some trivia. We do it all. We always do trivia. That's our
the trivia is fun. The trivia is fun.
Trivia is a lot of fun. So Bones, let's start with you on Feel the Love, man. Who's your Feel the Love this week?
So my Feel the Love, and he's gotten flack on here, but all week he's been getting shit on the radio stations, and that's Trey Turner. I mean, this guy's been hitting the ball for the last couple weeks from the leadoff spot, second spot, wherever they're putting him. He's batting 300 right now, and he's over the course of the last year, he's batting almost 300 since July 1st of last year, and continues. They keep on calling, go over to WIP, and they're calling him a slap ball hitter. I mean, do you want the guy to be the leadoff guy, or you want him driving in runs?
It's ridiculous.
If he's going to be the leadoff guy, just get on base. What he's doing, let the other guys drive in the runs. Start throwing the shade towards Bryce Harper, who's also getting $330 million, who ain't hitting the ball worth a lick right now. So
hit a homer to opposite field today.
I don't care what he did today. He's still batting 230, and he's going up there swinging for the fences every time he goes up there. Trey Turner's hitting the ball to right field, hitting the ball on the left center, situational baseball. This is what you want from your leadoff hitter. Yeah. This is what you want from the top of the lineup, and he's doing it, and he's still getting stuff every day. I don't care what kind of power numbers he's putting up, what kind of RBI numbers he's putting up. As long as the people are on, as long as he's getting on base and doing what he's supposed to do, that's all you can ask for.
No, that's a great one. And like Rob Thompson said at the beginning of the year in chat, we see you guys. We'll get to your comments. You guys have been bringing a lot of good comments there. Like Rob Thompson said at the beginning of the year, he just wants Trey Turner to score around 100 runs, right? So it's all about getting in the runs. So it doesn't matter how you do it. Slim, who are you feeling the love for this week?
So I'm feeling the love. Well, can I comment on Trey Turner?
Of course. This is America, baby.
Yeah. So real fast on Trey Turner. He was in consideration for my Feel the Love. He was above 300 going in today. Mm-hmm. But then a couple things stood out. He went 1 for 6 today, right? So he's back under 300, which is still fine. But the 1 for 6 is too much was too much for me to make you my Feel the Love person. And then secondly, there was actually 3 points. Who do we feel is the best leadoff guy? Do we feel like we're the most productive with Stott, Turner, or Schwarber up there? Because they've all gotten the reps now. I think we can start having a little bit of a conversation what lineup we like the best there. he went 1 for 6 today, and we ended up scoring 8 runs, so that's interesting. And then thirdly, you still hear all the talking media heads that work for the Phillies. Oh, his defense is better. They're now saying that his range is better and that his accuracy throwing the first base is better. So when I started hearing that stuff, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because we're watching the game and we do see the little blunders here and there. So there are my 3 points on Trey Turner. The 1 for 6. Is he even the best leadoff guy? I'm not even sure. And then lastly, we're still seeing a lot of the voice work. Oh, he's good shortstop. His range is better. His accuracy to first base is better. Yada yada yada. With that being said, my field of love, I gotta say it, and I wish he pitched today because we could have used him because he's going to end up having a great year. His name's Tanner Banks. He's our guy. I've been telling you guys to relax about the bullpen.
He's your guy.
Yeah, he's my guy. Well, he should be all of our guy because he has a whip of 0.98. He has 18 strikeouts. He only has 4 walks and 5 runs allowed. He's been in 14 games. Okay. His ERA has been under 2 all year. So he's a dude who is slowly getting better. And here's another thing. I listened to an interview with Tanner Banks this morning. High IQ. He's a pitcher. He's not a thrower.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a dude who he's plugged in. He seems like he's part of the bullpen camaraderie, So I think he's going to be a dark horse who's going to be huge for us if we do end up making a big playoff run. He's been excellent. And this started because a few games ago, it was Banks. Did Hernandez get in there? Long story short, when they closed that game out 7-8-9, it was beautiful. We got the 12 straight outs, and it wasn't Strom or those dudes. So that was great to see. What game was that? When the bullpen came in, it was Banks, Hernandez, and then maybe it was Alvarado at the end there. I can't remember. Well, long story short, we got 12 straight. We got 12 straight outs. It was one of the middle games there. So yeah, Tanner Banks is my field of love. I feel like he's going to be huge for us.
So Tanner Banks, I love to hear his name in the field of love section. The only thing I would say about him, and by the way, I'm not 100% sure on this. I don't want to throw any hate or energy his way. You mentioned his appearances. I would push back. Probably not a lot of high leverage opportunities for him in there, right? So that's the biggest thing. But to your point, maybe he starts winning some of those high leverage opportunities if he keeps throwing the ball the way he is. So
right.
Shout out to him. Bones mentioned the farm system earlier with the catcher we have. I'm going to go stick to the farm system. My field of love is for Otto Kemp. So this guy has been absolutely raking. He's down in Lehigh Valley for the Iron Pigs. He's primarily a third baseman. So I don't know if we can find a home for him in the outfield or something. Obviously not third base. But he's hitting the ball at a rate that I don't know if I've ever seen through at this point of the season. So he's batting .344, right? And this isn't this is an everyday player, guys. So this is an everyday player stats. Batting .344 with 10 homers and 1,100 OPS. So the guy's been absolutely raking, 25-year-old. So this is probably a position. I've been seeing some comments online about this, where this is somewhat of a classic. He's getting blocked, right? Because he got bombed there. Because in most scenarios, a guy hitting the ball like this, he's in the big leagues right now, right? Obviously, if there's a all-star third baseman, he's not. But they're finding a home for a guy hitting the ball like this. So,
and we got to have the conversation because has Bohm even hit a homer yet this year? Right?
Nope.
I know.
Right.
And again, he's a dude when we talk about, if you listen enough to the interviews, like, Devo was on air the other week. If you can really deep dive in the language that the managers and the reporters talk with, and boom, that's another guy. Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do it, but he's not. Yeah. You can tell someone all the time, oh, they have the power. They're making the contact. Kruk was talking about today, but they're not going to believe it till they do it. When you're talking about making contact. So I think we're in a key spot to where I would love to see Dombrowski get creative. I don't know how much leeway he has, but I think we're piped for a trade. We're piped for a trade, and even that, and I think it could be someone who's maybe a little more unexpected. Boom, it could be anybody, but Boom makes sense because if Kemp's hitting homers, that's exactly what we need, especially now as the bats are getting going a little bit here. You got another dude in there who's hitting homers. Let's go, because Kepler's playing better. Weston Wilson's hitting. You could have this dude Otto coming up and hitting. So, yeah I don't know. I would definitely – it might be one of those Wally Pipp situations. Somebody get hurt, then he finally comes up, and that's going to be his opportunity. So, I don't know. I'm intrigued for sure.
Listen, and our radars will start going off if he starts getting some corner outfield looks down in Lehigh Valley. I haven't seen that too much. Obviously,
he was out there a few times.
Oh, he has? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So that's even better.
He made his first start out there, I think, last week I saw. But why not third base?
Like, just in general, like the Iron Pigs, they're the best team in the minors right now for that league. They're like 23-8. Their bullpen's the best in baseball. So you wonder, like, you're hearing the bullpen starting to pick their stuff up down there.
Yeah.
They're hearing a lot of info coming up here. Is that putting a spark up the guys in our bullpens behind? Otto Kemp's hitting down there. Justin Crawford's hitting down there.
Right.
Is this putting a spark in some of these guys? Because now, the last couple of weeks, as their season's starting to progress, because they start after the majors, like Kepler's starting to hit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And the bullpen's starting to pitch better, so you never know. Maybe they're feeling the heat a little bit.
That's a good call.
Feel the heat.
And even look at today. We had mental blunders in that one inning where Perdomo got on third. Just stupid stuff that happened today. That with I'm thinking about this because with Marsh going up, Marsh's role looks like it's going to have to absolutely change from what it was. He might be a dude who's going to be coming in, pitch running, doing defensive stuff. With Kepler, with even Wilson hitting, it's like, all right, do we go offense heavy first? Get a lead and then put in dudes like Marsh and Rojas, like we talked about previously. And then with that being said, could a dude like Otto Kemp play into that? All right, let us get to the 5th, 6th inning a couple times around the order, get a lead, pull Kemp, pull Wilson, pull someone like that, and then play these other dudes, Rojas, whoever it might be, Sosa, yada 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 yada. But I don't know. We have a lot of depth, which means we should have flexibility. Let's see how the ownership and management handle it.
100%. And speaking of Lehigh Valley, we will be planning a Red Corner trip to the minor leagues this year. So stay tuned on those dates. But before we transition to previewing the next series, I want to get to the chat here, guys, because you've been very active. We got Blind Beard coming in with an early Phillies suck comment. Thanks, Blind Beard. Very, very productive comment. Thank you for that. Shawnee K saying cheesesteak on top. So I think he's saying that cheesesteak on top of the dog. That's right. Shout out.
Yes, sir.
Jerry B saying that Slim cheated.
Nonsense.
So Shawnee K saying that
Slim cheated.
You lost $4 and you lost a cell phone. So a little bit more.
Yes, a little bit more. Correct. But it would have been more of it would have been $10 for an ice cream. It would have been all those calories and a cell phone. So hey,
that's a good point. Ruiz, Matty Dub saying Ruiz, Hernandez, Alvarado, all of them. Go get Mason Miller. Hey, I don't think there'll be any complainers if we get Mason Miller on this team. Matty Dub's also giving some shout outs there to Stubbs. Love it. Let's see here. Matty Dubs loves Banks. And then we got NR in the chat saying Dombrowski will wait till he's 26 to call him up, referring to Otto Kemp. I'm assuming you're saying that with a little bit of tongue in cheek, right? A little jab. I hear that.
That's been the way of the Phillies since back in the early 2000s. Look at Ryan Howard. Look at Chase Utley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to be honest, that you're 100% right, Bones. That has always been the Phillies' way. But I think Dombrowski has had a reputation of pulling the trigger a little bit earlier than the traditional Phillies organization. We'll see. A lot of people are blocked. As simple as that. I mean,
no, but I'm saying if he's saying wait till he's 26, well, look at Johan Rojas. We just talked about a couple weeks ago how they pulled him up a little early.
True. And that was Dombrowski, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good point. Put it this way. If Bohm was still hitting 150, Kemp would be up.
Yeah.
We would have no choice. Right? Because it's at that point, it's just blasphemy. All right. And then Jerry B saying minor leagues are a different animal. Yeah, no doubt. You hear nowadays more than ever, Jerry, that the pitching quality is as the gap is larger than ever. And a lot of that's just with the science of the arms, and it's hard to find arms at the same level. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't expect them to have 1,100 OPS in the big leagues, but I'll take 900. You know what I mean? So, let's transition here, boys. Let's get back to ball here. We have the Rays coming up.
Oh boy.
So let's preview that series. And Bones, I'm looking at you. So game 1, Tuesday. We got a day off tomorrow, right? Monday night.
Mhm.
Game 1 is Tuesday, 7:00 game. We got Wheeler versus righty Rasmussen. Game 2 is Wednesday, another 7:00 game. We got Sanchez versus Shane Baz, another righty. And game 3, we got Luzardo versus, I'm going to butcher this, Pipayat, another righty. So another 3 righty series. We got the 16 and 18 Rays. Where are we at?
So you're always going to have trouble, like especially doing these interleague series with the pitchers.
Yeah.
Not really seeing the guys, and you're going to see it on both sides where hitters are going to typically struggle.
Right.
But then, especially like with these guys that are like so analytic in the Rays, so they're probably going to be tougher, especially on the Phillies hitters, because the throw these curveballs at them and they're just going to swing at them. So I want to expect Bryce Harper to see a fastball all series, and if they do, shame on the Rays.
Yeah.
But it's like stuff like that. But then you go into these hitters you got a young guy, Caballero. They got a lot of speed on this team. Caballero, Simpson, and Yasmani Camargo.
Mm-hmm.
These are all guys that are going to try to get on base, hit the ball, especially Carabero. You're probably better with that, Dev. Caballero.
I'm on it.
Caballero, I think is his name, and Simpson.
Right.
These guys are lightning. I mean, Simpson just got a call up 2 weeks ago. He had 104 stolen bases in the minor leagues last year. Phillies can't seem to hold anybody on, and we talked about Real Muta, how he's falling down the defensive works. He should have a field day with this series, with them guys stealing on him. So
yeah, their
look
first
out for a lot of speed, little small hit ball with this team. It's all about the analytics, and they're going to beat you at the game of baseball, which not a lot of people play anymore.
100%. And Slim, you are on mute. Just so you know, I see that. Yeah, their first baseman is hitting the ball well too. Aranda.
Yes.
Slim.
No, I'm with Bones. Tampa Bay, they're always feisty. Their manager, Kevin Cash, he's a dude who's going to every single game look to optimize the lineup, the strategy, squeeze every little tactical advantage out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're in a great spot because you guys know Tampa Bay right now, they're without a real home. They're playing in George Steinbrenner Stadium, which is the Yankees spring training facility, which means, and this is the best spot for the Phillies to be in right now. We have a day off. We're starting to hit a little bit. We just scored 8 runs against a pretty good, another savvy team with Arizona. Okay, another savvy team. We should be able to bring the slug in this series. We should be able to be ripping doubles. We should be able to be smoking homers. Okay, I'm hoping in 3 games we should have. I think we're going to have over 4.5 homers this series. Okay, so I think we should see some homers this series for sure. I do think, and again, I would be happy if we win this series 2-1. I think we're going to have a couple maybe blowout wins, at least one blowout win. And then I think, like Bones said, they might be able to steal one on us. I'm going to be watching now, Bones, all the base runners. I was unfamiliar with the guy Simpson, these dudes who are coming up that are apparently lightning bolt fast. But, yeah, it's just another test for Remuto, and I'm sure he's going to be ready for it. Again, I would be more nervous with the relievers coming in. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
And it's a good timing for another kind of team we should win, right? Like this is a series where these aren't bozos, right? So we can be proud about taking 2 out of 3. And, hey, if we sweep them, even better. By the way, have we swept anyone this season?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think we did. So
this is the series too because we had the top of the
The
rotation
Rockies,
now.
right? They swept the Rockies.
Oh, the Rockies. Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was either 1 or 0. Did we sweep the Rockies?
Pretty sure.
Okay. We'll fact check that. But well, hell, it'd be great if we take a sweep here. And the biggest thing is for me the timing of this, right? Because Slim, you hit on the vibes earlier, and that was exactly what I wanted to touch on, right? We were in the gutter with the sweep by the Mets. Everyone was kind of jumping ship. We got people turning the gun in the direction of different players. You got Harper taking a lot of heat now. You had Turner taking heat, as Bone said, probably unfairly. The Harper heat is fair in a bubble, but not fair macro, in my opinion. But overall, the Phillies did something that we should be proud of, right? They got swept. Then they faced a good Cubs team, won that series. They beat the Nationals, and then they faced a good Diamondback series, who we have some blood with, right? And we won that series. So we won 3 straight series, including a division series, after getting swept. So if you notice, right, because we try to do where we translate the overhype and the headlines from the radio. But if you notice, when the Phils are doing something that they should do and we should be proud of, you don't hear about anything at all, right? But they get their butts kicked one series. Everyone wants to jump ship and say, let's wait until October. But that was a big stretch that we're on. If we can win 4 straight series, that's hard to do in the big leagues.
No, we're looking good. The Mets are simmering down a little bit because let's face it, the Mets just got beat around a little bit by the D-backs.
Yeah.
And then we took care of the D-backs, and now the Mets might be losing. They had a doubleheader today. They lost game 1 in a doubleheader. They're down right now 5-4 in that doubleheader. So, and again, it's super early, we know. But things are looking well. And another big point to you, Devo, is we got the top of our rotation going. We're going to see Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo. So we should be able to handle them, And with the rest day, the bullpen arms get the rest.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, 2 weeks. It's been a long 2 weeks.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
It felt like we lost like a week straight, and then we finally started winning 2 out of 3 for like a week straight. The bullpen will get a rest. Our players will get a rest, and then we'll be able to set everything up going forward. One note, though, is we do have to – I'm monitoring Alvarado, right, because Alvarado wasn't great today.
No. Alvarado had
and that was going back to earlier in the week where he let guys on, and then he was able to get out of it with 3 straight strikeouts.
That was Dick, though, wasn't it?
That was impressive. Impressive. There's not a lot of guys in the big leagues that can do that. Can get so out of control to load them up and then strike out 3 guys.
Yeah, that was sick. It's been a long week.
Rough. Like I didn't want to get too recency bias and say that was one of the worst games I've seen him. But he also had he had the rough 8 inning, right, where he didn't hold the run, and then he comes back out and he had that bonehead play where, if you remember, he nipped the ball and tried to cut it off. If he didn't do that, I think that runner's out. So that's a huge run. And then he let up another, 3 runs?
Yeah.
So
it was close.
Yeah. That's a rough game. It was close, but that ball beat him there, and he nipped it. So I don't think if he does that, that was a good throw by Schwarber.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I wanted to touch on, you were talking about like where we're standing, like basically after the first month of the season, where are you at? Well, I got a text the other day from somebody. When are we going to stop with the Phillies? Not us in general, but the Phillies fans. When are we going to stop with the Phillies to the World Series talks? Right. So this is like a group chat, and I let them go on, and I'm just going to read out what I wrote back.
I'm sorry. I hope you handled that because.
So I texted back, "Are you guys done yet?" And they said yes. I said, as bad as it's all been, there's still 4 games over 500. You times that by 6, meaning 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's little 20, let's say 24 games over 500, because it's not going to be 30 each time.
Right.
So that's 20-plus games over 500. They're getting their top pitcher back, one of their top pitchers back this week. I said, bullpen can't be bad all year. Bullpen going to be different in 3 weeks.
And you didn't even say Andrew Painter.
Didn't bring up Andrew Painter, who's going to be making his Lehigh Valley debut this week. And not talking about Bryce Harper, who sucked all year.
Yep.
But we got to make one point.
What's that?
I'm with you, Bones, and especially since we could be hitting later on, and then we could win the World Series. You sneak in, you hit, you win the World Series. It's happened before. 1 point, though. You said we're getting one of our star pitchers back, Suarez.
Yeah, he sucked today.
We have
one of you guys jinxed him.
Right, dude. I'll tell you what. Again, I felt today was going to be wonky. The weather, the lineup, winning 3 in a row.
I was actually surprised they were throwing him out there with the weather.
Right.
So I thought, with you.
Yeah. He looked great the first 2 innings, and then that third inning. And I know he has the streaks in his hair, but did you notice something? Did you notice that little Donovan McNabb in him today? The vibe checks are off with Suarez. The giggling, the laughing. You guys didn't see it. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm monitoring it. Okay, he was. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. He seems like a guy who might be a little too upset with. Who knows? I don't know what's going on.
Okay,
it's on the radar.
Well, listen, note taken. I like that.
You can be loose, and that can come off to the team. The loose dude. But then if you're loose, and then you're kind of not caring about the team effort, you're a little self-centered. Right. It could have another impact there. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I noticed that today.
No, and Bones, I'm glad you kind of brought up that kind of State of the Union type, centering the mindset of fans. Because guys, here's the biggest thing. Number one, take a look at that NL West, right? They're great. Take a look at the Mets. The Braves aren't dead yet. So the regular season is very important. Why is the regular season important? Because if we don't win the division, we're going to have to be battling really good teams. So the wild card might be the only way we get into the playoffs. So it isn't like we're just gifted the division, and it isn't like you just automatically go to the World Series. There's a delusion of just because you want the team to win the World Series, just because we went to the World Series 2 years ago, that we're going to go back every year. Winning the World Series is hard. If we had a mission statement on the red corner, I think it would be something like this, and we'll workshop this. It's enjoy the journey of the season, right? That baseball has that unique aspect that every series is kind of a story. It has all these different themes, and it's a long season. You hear that beat to death. But enjoy it, because the regular season does matter. Anyone who says that with baseball that it doesn't matter is a buffoon, because if you don't win, you don't get to the playoffs. And we've seen how good that the other divisions are right now. So it's going to be a scratch and claw fest to get to the playoffs. This is going to be intense. This is going to be tough. So, but yeah, so great call out there. Anything else on that before we get to some pick'ems?
No, I'm 100% with you, brother.
All right. Yeah, enjoy the journey, guys. Seriously, that's the way. Slim, floor is yours.
We ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go, boys. It's been a long first month here, but I need everybody to listen very carefully. All right, you're not going to believe me, but you got to think. And I know everyone probably thinks I'm nuts, because you look at the record. My record's 14-33, and I'm down minus 5.7 units. But that's not the red flag. That's the biggest tell in the world. That's telling you that this thing's actually working. Because after that brutal start, what happened? We had huge 2 straight winning weeks. We clawed back with winning 4.35 units last week, and now we're starting to hit a real stride here. So baseball, the best thing about baseball, every game's a series. There's games every day. They're starting on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So we're going to be betting a ton. We're going to be betting a ton here. So here we go. 3 plays to start. I'm going to give you 3 for Monday and then 3 for Tuesday. You're doubling down. So they lose Monday, you take the Monday games Tuesday again. The Tuesday games lose, you take them again for Wednesday. So here we go. 3 plays for Monday. And they're all minus 1.5 run lines. You're going to take the Reds plus 185. You're going to take the Mets plus 145. And then you're going to take the Dodgers even. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these aren't super duper safe bets. We're getting plus value. They're smart bets. These are the bets that Vegas, your bookie, they don't want you making. Why? Because when they hit, they're beautiful, beautiful wins. All right, that's the model we're going with. So remember that for Monday, Dodgers, Mets, and Reds. And then on Tuesday, same thing, -1.5 across the boards. We're taking the Tigers, we're taking the Phillies, and we're taking the Blue Jays. All right, so we got 6 games from now until our next episode. Just keep watching. As of now, what did I say we were? We're 14 and 33, minus 5.7 units. Next time you see us, we will be in the green. We're coming for the green. Let's go. That's it for me.
Let's go, baby.
Keep listening. Keep listening, and we're finally gonna start eating. Okay, let's go.
Awesome, man. All right, as always, ride with Slim because the Red Corner always does. Thank you, Slim, for that. And just to kind of tie a bow on what I was just saying, if the season ended right now, the Phils have the 3rd wild card spot. So we are in the playoffs right now, but it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a dogfight. The Padres and Giants are ahead of us. And remember, guys, the year we won the World Series, we were a wild card team, right? Slim Bones and me were in Nashville, Tennessee, and we watched the first couple rounds of that playoff series, and that was the most fun I've ever had watching playoff baseball in our lives. So trust me, just if you can be a wild card team and do damage, like Slim said, if you get hot at the right time.
And you said we would be the 3rd wild card. The Dodgers, we still won in Los Angeles with Wheeler.
Yeah.
Now they're coming to Philly where they've struggled, right? So that would be the matchup right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luzardo, Sanchez, Wheeler, and Painter. Come on.
And if we were to open up right now in Los Angeles, I would absolutely be all over the Phillies -1.5 game 1 on the road.
Which says a lot. Bones, anything you want to add there?
No, it's great points. It's a long, grueling season.
Yep.
I mean, these teams out in the NL West, they're yet to beat up on each other. I think the Diamondbacks and or the Padres and Dodgers played each other. Other than that, I don't know if anybody's really played each other. I know the Dodgers are slumping now, but they're going to start reeling them in. So it's all about health. And old Slim's 6-man rotation out in Dodgerville ain't happening so much because their pitchers keep on going down left and right. Like I said back in the offseason. Tyler Glasnow out again.
Well, he looked terrible when he faced us. We talked about brown hair Thor. He's awful.
But that was the rain. He was blaming the rain. Yeah,
Good for him.
He's got more serious issues. He's been hurt 3 times since then.
The 6-man rotation stuff's interesting. We're going to have a little bit of it, I think. We're going to see spot starts for Suarez, maybe Nola.
That's not a 6-man rotation, as I said before. It's a spot start.
Well, what if it's consistent? The only point you really have is that no one has done it from April to September. That's all, and that's because they don't have the luxury due to the injury. So if nobody was injured, you could potentially see it. So that's it, Bones. That's all.
Before we close down shop with On This Day in Phillies History, you guys want to just talk about the MLB doing the inaugural rivalry week? Have you guys seen any of this yet?
No, I haven't seen anything too much about it. Go ahead.
So, to be honest with you, I was hoping that one of you had a little bit more background on it, but I know enough to get dangerous here. So, what I was trying to confirm was if the matchups were all in the same literal week, but what I can say safely is, and I know the hot topic is, the Phillies are playing the Pirates for the rivalry week. So what the MLB is trying to do is a lot of the matchups are geographic in nature. A lot of them are just more traditional rivalries, right? And it's something that they're trying to bring out, which, to be honest, and I think our series is mid-May with the Pirates. I kind of like the fact that they're bringing that back with the Pirates. There were some haters because we're not with the Mets, facing the Mets, which I get, it's not as heat. But back in the day, a lot of people that are younger than us don't know that the Pirates used to be in our division, right? Yeah. So we used to actually
That's going to be part of my
oh, I'm sorry.
Thing. No. Getting into the rivalry thing with the Pirates.
Okay, cool. Continue, that'll be something to keep an eye on. So the MLB is doing the rivalry week in the next couple weeks, and the Phils play the Pirates. So that's something kind of exciting for us to get dialed in on. Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
May like 15th or 16th weekend. 15th, 16th, 17th, something like that.
That's correct.
I think it's a smart call by the MLB too, not to pick the Mets or something, because let's face it, New York and Philadelphia, two huge markets. We're going to be watching regardless. The Pirates are going to have peak interest because those people out in central Pennsylvania, Bedford County, Allegheny County, they want to kick the Philadelphia people's butts, right? And that includes our baseball team. So, yeah, that's going to be cool. I'm for it. And I went to school out in the middle of the state, and those Pittsburgh fans, doesn't matter if they're Penguin fans, Steeler fans, or Pirate fans, because they're Pirate fans, and they were terrible when I was in college. Still, you and Andrew McCutcheon, they're all brutal. So yeah, let's go out there and take care of business when rivalry week comes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Full disclosure: he was enrolled. He didn't attend.
Whatever.
He was on campus. Jerry B in the chat saying Rob Thompson already said he doesn't like the 6-man rotation. I hear that. Bones, floor is yours on this day in Phillies history.
All right, so on this day in Phillies history, so you just touched on the rivalry thing. So it was back on this day, 2001. Bruce Chen gave up a 2-run homer to Barry Bonds. So at the time, Barry Bonds was obviously playing for the Giants. This was the year he hit the 73 home runs. It was the only home run he hit all series. But you hit on the rivalry thing is he played for the Pirates back in the day. He has the most home runs all time against the Phillies.
That's a great trivia nugget.
And he didn't play for them for this was dating back then, almost 10 years after this thing. So I think it was 93 was the last time. 92 and 93 was the last year he played for the Pirates.
Yeah.
And this is almost 10 years later, and he was still the all-time leader. By the end of his career, he was the all-time leader still in home runs against the Phillies.
Wow.
Another one is, and this is significant, this is a transaction. The Phillies traded Willie Martinez to the San Francisco Giants for none other than the Secretary of Defense, Gary Maddox.
Yep.
And then I want to touch on, it wasn't today, but it was a big thing over the weekend. It was the anniversary of when the Phillies were playing Sunday Night Baseball against the New York Mets. And they announced that Osama bin Laden was captured by the U.S. military. And that whole scene, going throughout the ballpark and throughout, at the time, beginning of, Facebook and stuff like that all over social media, how cool that was to, see. And Philly was, a big part of that.
Yeah.
To the players, going to the field, wondering what the hell they were chanting, the USA chants. I thought that was pretty cool. And I remember where I was when that happened. I don't know where you guys were at when that happened.
No, I remember it was, like you said, Sunday Night Baseball, probably a little bit earlier than what time it is right now. I was in college, sophomore year, laying on the couch, and you heard it was, you said Facebook. For me, it was, the early stages of Twitter was very popular,
Yeah.
So yeah, those USA chants made my blood run cold. I was it was something special. Well, relatively special. You don't want to say that.
That's something special. Because 10 years before that, we had no clue what the hell was going on.
Do you believe?
Center thing.
We don't got to get into it, but we'll leave this for the comments. Do you believe they just dropped his body in the middle of the ocean, like they claim?
That's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole different podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they said after the assassination, that he was dropped in the Atlantic somewhere.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fun episode. We covered a lot. Let's just end with another kind of call to action for everybody. This upcoming Friday, right? What we have is a watch party at Love City Brewing. Come hang. All the boys will be there. We'll have our crew there. Bring your crew. Slim's buying beers. There's food there. They have a really good food truck inside their facility. I think you guys will really like their facilities if you've never been. Come hang. If you have not yet, like, subscribe, hit that button, please, and have a great week. Go Phils. Let's win this Ray series. See you, boys.